Hello, it's Lesley Fightmaster. Today's class is for Brandon Brown. He asked for a hip stretching class. So, Brandon, this one is for you. Let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. Take a moment to set your intention for your practice, if you wish. And we'll start on our backs, just lying down. And then bring your right ankle just past your left knee for thread the needle. And then bring your hands through and hold on to the left shin or behind the thigh. But make sure that your right hip is coming forward and try and keep your right knee and your right ankle in the same line across. And that way you can get a nice stretch in the hip, but keep the hips level. Take just a couple breaths here. Make sure the right ankle stays flexed as well. And then keep the legs just in that same position. Drop the knees and the leg over to the left and look over the right shoulder and twist. So in this twist, you might feel a little hip stretch as well. Keeping the breath nice and steady. And inhale, bring your legs to center and switch. Left ankle just past the right knee. So bring that left hip a little bit forward toward the front of your mat so that the hips are leveled out. And then draw the legs in toward the chest and hold on to the left leg. To the right leg. So you're holding the right shin or behind the thigh. And make sure that the left ankle stays flexed. And always returning to your nice, steady Ojai breathing. And then we'll take the legs over to the right side. Turn and look over your left shoulder for your twist. And again, just keep those legs in the same position. If that's not comfortable, though, feel free to switch the position of the legs, maybe putting the left knee on top of the right knee, like we do a lot of times, that kind of regular twist we do. Back to center, hugging the knees in. And then happy baby. Take the pinky toe sides of the feet, draw the knees in toward the armpits, reach the tailbone toward the floor. And gentle rocking side to side. And then roll yourself up. So back and forth, up and down the spine. Roll up to seated. And then rolling forward. Going to come into child's pose, but with the knees nice and wide. So if you can, take your knees about as wide as the mat. And rest your head down on the mat or on your hands. That way, as you're stretching out your spine in child's pose, you're also opening the hips. And just another breath here. And then extend the arms forward. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Keep the hands there. Come up to the knees and tuck your toes, downward dog. And then bend your knees. And then start to straighten through the left leg and then the right, bicycling your legs here. And reaching back now in your down dog. On your inhale, right leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip. Stretching that leg over toward the left side, reach your left heel toward the floor. Then square off your hips, look forward, lightly step the right foot up by the right hand, take the left knee down, we'll come into low lunge. So reaching up into low lunge, pull your right hip back and try and lift your hip points up towards your lower ribs, pulling the front ribs in as you sink in. So I always find it challenging in my own body not to overarch my lower back as I sink into the low lunge. So if you find that in your body too, try and lift up the hip points toward the lower ribs And if you don't find that in your body, you could still lift up the hip points. Bring your hands on the inside of the right foot. Take an inhale to lengthen through the spine. You can stay right here with your hands on the mat, or you can come down with your forearms on the mat instead. Keep the knee pointed over the second toe. So if your knee starts to go out to the side, make sure your toes do as well. But try to keep the knee pointed straight ahead if you can. And then come on up, tuck the back toes, and just right into downward facing dog. And then left leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip. Try and press evenly through the arms, through the shoulders, and reach down through the right heel. And then squaring off the hips, step it all the way up by the left hand, right knee to the floor for your low lunge. So come on up, sinking the hips forward, spin your triceps forward as well, and keep your left hip drawing back. Tailbone is lengthening and hip points lift up. And watch that the ribs aren't poking out. And bring your hands on the inside of the left foot. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, either stay up on the hands, or you could make your way down to your forearms. Or if you have a yoga block, you could put your forearms on a block as well. Keep drawing your left knee in towards your shoulder and try and keep it straight ahead. But if it does turn out to the side, make sure that your left toes stay in line with the knee. So the middle toes in line with the knee. Just another breath or two here. And then tuck the toes, come back again into downward facing dog, stretching back. Now step your right foot forward and then take your feet to parallel. So toes are in a little bit. Inhale to lengthen, exhale and fold into Prasarita Padottanasana A. Crown of the head's reaching toward the floor, but keep the spine nice and long. So don't worry about getting your head down if that's rounding your back. Keep the spine lengthening. Keep pulling up on the kneecaps and inhale, come halfway up and then come right down onto your knees. So we're going to take Mandukasana or frog pose. And so we take the knees apart and you want to have your knees and your hips in line. And then you can come onto your forearms or your elbows any amount, and the legs will start to slide apart a little bit unless you're on a really, really sticky mat. If your mat's super duper sticky, you can also keep one knee on the mat, and if you're on a hardwood floor or even a rug, you can take the other knee onto the floor and then let that leg slide out on the rug or on your blanket. And then just stop where it is comfortable for you. You don't have to go in real deep, just until you feel a stretch, like we always do. We don't want to go in too deeply into a pose. And there's a tendency for the hips to either be behind the knees or in front of them, so just double check. Now to come out of it though, we will take the hips forward, come onto your belly. And then come to seated, extending the legs in front. Bending your right knee for Janu Sirsasana. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, and come forward. Lengthen as you inhale. Exhale to extend. Leading with your chest and lengthening out the spine. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Inhale to come up. So you can either keep that left leg straight and right hand behind left hand to right knee and twist, or you can bend it back the way I'm showing. If that bothers your knee though, don't bend it back. Or another option, you can take the right leg into half lotus, reach the left arm behind the back for the toe, left hand to right knee to twist. So rolling open through the right shoulder and twisting. Then head to center and we'll unwind. Extend both legs out, and now we'll bend the left knee into Janushirasana. So left sole of the foot to the inner right thigh. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale to extend forward. And again, lengthen as you inhale, exhale, and reaching forward, lengthening through the spine, leading with the heart. Pull the right toes back to flex the right ankle. Inhale the head up and exhale to release. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind and twist. Or you can bend your right knee back and take the twist that way. Or you can add the left leg into half lotus. So heel toward the navel, take it across, set it down. Left arm behind, take the toe, right arm across. Every time you inhale, sit up nice and tall. Every time you exhale, roll the left shoulder back and twist. Bring your head to center and unwind. And then take the soles of feet together, knees apart, and lie down for Shavasana. So this Shavasana, soles of feet together, knees apart, unless that's not comfortable. If it isn't, you can extend the legs out or feet on the floor, knees bent. But get comfortable, take a few moments, and then just relax. I was reminded of our quote this morning when I saw a message from a friend who said she's just going to go for it. She's not going to give in to her fear anymore. So this quote is from Anya Snin. And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Slowly extend the legs out and reach your arms overhead for a nice long stretch. And then bend the knees and roll yourself to the right. Pausing a moment for gratitude for all of our blessings. And slowly make your way up to seated. Crossing at the shins, bring your hands together in front of the heart. And bring our hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications. Sending out this wonderful energy we created to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for our quick hip stretch. And if you liked the class, please push the like button and please subscribe to our channel and share our videos. If you can support Fightmaster Yoga, our mission is to get yoga to as many people as we possibly can. There's a link below through PayPal to send a donation, or you can go to fightmasteryoga.com. Thank you. Bye-bye.